We all know automation is powerful, right? But let's be honest, it can also be incredibly fragile. I mean, what happens when your AI agent is hours deep into a really critical task and everything just dies? Well, today we're going to talk about a whole new way to build agents that don't just give up. They learn, they adapt, and they keep on going. Let's dive in.
Okay, picture this nightmare. You've got an agent that's been crunching numbers for a solid 8 hours, an entire workday. It's deep in some massive financial analysis, and then poof, the server crashes. And just like that, everything is gone. All that work, all that progress, it's just vanished. This is the exact kind of catastrophe we're here to solve.
This really shows the tale of two worlds, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got your traditional automation. One little error, and the whole thing comes crashing down. Total failure. You're right back at square one. But on the right, that's where we want to be. A resilient system where work is saved, the process picks right back up from the last good step, and what was once fragile becomes basically unstoppable.
So, how do we actually get from that fragile world to the unstoppable one? Well, it all starts with a pretty big shift in philosophy. We have to move away from that all or nothing, crash and burn way of thinking and embrace a new idea called graceful degradation.
So what in the world is graceful degradation? It's a fancy term for a simple idea. Your system should be smart enough not to just throw its hands up and quit. If something goes wrong, let's say an API it needs is down for a minute, the agent doesn't just halt. Nope. It might try a backup source, or maybe work on other parts of the job that don't need that API. It's all about getting something done, maintaining momentum. It's about being resilient, not perfect.
Now, this whole philosophy is powered by a really clever technical solution, and that solution is checkpointing. This is the secret sauce, really. It's how we give our agents a memory so they can push through the chaos.
Okay, so how does it work? Think of it like this. At every major step or decision point in a task, the agent takes a quick snapshot of its thread state and saves it. Now, the thread state is basically its entire short-term memory. All the data it's gathered, the calculations it's made, and what it was about to do next. It's kind of like leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs so it never gets lost.
And this is the huge payoff. By saving its state, the agent gets what we call contextual continuity. It never forgets the full context of what it was doing. So when there's an interruption, it doesn't have to start all over again, redoing work. It knows exactly where it was and what it needs to do next.
But just remembering where you were isn't the whole story. The real magic, and this is cool, happens next. It's a process called adaptive recovery. This is where the agent doesn't just restart, it comes back smarter.
Let's just walk through this. So first, boom, a fault is detected. The system instantly rolls back to the last good checkpoint, that snapshot we talked about. But then, and this is the key, instead of just trying the exact same thing again, it actually tries to diagnose the problem. Was an API down? Was the data bad? And based on that diagnosis, it replans a new route to the finish line, and then gets back to work intelligently.
Now, if all of this still feels a little abstract, don't worry. There's a perfect analogy that makes it all click. Just think of it like a modern video game that has an autosave feature. Without autosave, we've all been there, right? One tiny mistake in, game over. You're sent all the way back to the very beginning. You lose everything. All your progress, your loot, your experience. It's so frustrating. But with autosave, you just respawn at the last checkpoint, maybe the last door you walked through, with all your stuff ready to try a new plan. That is exactly what checkpointing does for our agents. Okay, so we've got the theory down. Now let's talk about how we put this resilience into practice. How do we actually build our own unstoppable digital workforce? So where do you even start? The very first step is to just look at your own automation workflows and ask yourself a simple question. Where are the high-stakes steps? Where would a failure cost me the most time and money? Where are things most likely to break? Those spots, those are your critical nodes, and they're the perfect places to start adding checkpoints.
All right, let's bring it all home. Here's the blueprint for building resilient agents. Number 1, change your mindset from crash and burn to graceful degradation. Number 2, use checkpointing to save your agent's brain at all the key moments. That enables step 3, adaptive recovery, which lets your agents get smart about failures and replan on the fly. You put those 3 things together, and you turn fragile little scripts into a truly unstoppable digital workforce. Look, this isn't just some small technical upgrade. It's a completely new way of thinking about automation, especially in a world that's always throwing curveballs. The real question is, how much potential are we all losing every single time a simple glitch forces us back to square one? Building agentic systems that can think for themselves and recover intelligently,
That's the future. Stay agentic.